Today, I'm going to show you how I create my own stencils. I am so excited about this. Oh, hello everyone. I'm so excited to be back in my art room. It's been torture waiting for this termite treatment to be done, but I'm temporarily back in part of my space, and I've been dying to show you how I create my own stencils. I had forgotten because it's been years since I did it. And the first few that I did with an X-Acto knife, which is really difficult on my hands. I have autoimmune issues and my joints just do not like to use scissors and the X-Acto knife sometimes. So I was looking back through my stencils trying to remember how I used to do them because I love stencils. I'm obsessed with stencils, actually. So I remembered that I use this acetate. It's fairly thin, but it's very strong. It holds up very well. I use this, my favorite stencil making tool. So you see it's on right now, and Skylar has hijacked my little stand that it sits on, so I'm having to be very careful with it. But there's the soldering iron tip on the end, so you can make really clean lines. So here's how I do it. And this is one of them. This one's interesting because, let me see if I can. This one's interesting because I actually stamped. I use a stamp that I have to stamp onto the acetate, and then I just turned it over and traced out around the numbers, and I love it. So this is how I do it. I took this, and I'll put the link in the description. I got this for my birthday from my husband, and I hate cutting these papers, so a lot of times I'll just copy them on the machine. I really loved, let's see, where is it? It'll be the first one. Oh, no, it'll be the last one. There it is. It is. I really loved this pattern. And I looked around. I found a couple stencils that were similar, but sometimes I just don't have the money to put into supplies. So I want to figure out a way that I can make them myself. And also, this is not completely exact like it is here because you're doing it by hand. There's little pieces that aren't perfect. So I love that because then when I go to use it later in my artwork, it's my own and it doesn't look perfect. And that little nick in the side of one that drives me crazy in the beginning because I didn't do it perfectly, I end up loving it later because I'm looking back through my journal pages and it just always makes me laugh. That little nick, it drove me crazy, but I end up loving it and embracing it. So anyway, so I made a copy of this design, and I have this piece of glass. I don't know where I got this from. I'm sure it's probably a picture. It was out of a picture frame or something, but it's a pretty thick, decent piece of glass. So I just put it underneath here, and then tape. I gotta find my tape. Okay, hold on. I'll be right back. I gotta go find my tape. Okay, found it. I just use this tape most of the time. And then I cut out, so these pieces of acetate, I'll put that in the link in the description as well. I just got them from Amazon. You get a pack of them. Can't even remember how much they were, but I'll link it. And I think mine were 12 by 12, and I cut them in quarters. So because these are easier to use in journal pages, journal books, the books that I use to do my journal. But I have created these for full-size paintings before. So you can get them larger than 12 by 12 as well. But I just kind of line it up the best I can. It's really hard because you're on glass and it's hard to see this acetate, so I just try and line it up as straight as I can. I don't even really have to because, and I just, yeah, you don't have to because when you're using the stencils, you're going to put them wherever you want to anyway, and you can adjust the glass later too. Like that's what I'm doing now, which is why it's a good idea to after you get that tape down to adjust the glass and get that centered the best that you can. And then I tape the glass down too, so it doesn't move. And I use this tape over and over again, so you can use it a lot of times before you throw it away and get new pieces. Oh, that's where that went. Sorry, I speak out loud. I talk to myself while I'm doing things. Okay, so now we're pretty secure. And the only thing, and now some things you have to remember that if you cut it all the way out, it's not gonna, you have to, this is not, so like we could trace these lines, but if you go all the way through, it's just gonna be in two pieces. So you have to make sure that everything that you take out is a complete piece, if that makes any sense. I don't know if that makes any sense, but anyway, so I'm gonna go in to the second row right here, and I'm just gonna start tracing. But it's probably a good idea, and I normally do have a fan going. I'm a nail tech, so I have a nail fan. I'm gonna try and find that in Amazon and link it at the bottom, because it is a great little tool for crafters too. So this fan that I use for nails has a filter in it, and I can set it right next to the area I'm working, and it sucks that dust in. And it's good, the filter is good for chemicals too. So I usually like to set it up right where I'm working, but if I did that right now, you wouldn't, it's not that loud, but you wouldn't be able to hear me as well. So then you go to the next one, and you see how I'm keeping these separate? I probably got my points too close together, but this is just an example. I have one that I've spent a little more time with making it perfect, and I'll show you in just a second. But I just want to show you how I do this. You can draw your own patterns, which I'm going to do here in a minute and show you. So let's just say that I finished the whole thing, right? We're going to save that for later. And then pop these little things out. Sometimes when they don't want to come out, I just take my cutting board thing. I don't know. I have to turn this around. So sometimes you need to get in there and just kind of help these along. If you've watched my other videos, I've said I can't see very well. So I have my glasses on, but I'm too far away. I need my glasses to see, but I have to be close with my glasses. Or if I have my glasses off, I can see from far away, but I have to be really far away. And then I'm so far away I can't see the detail. So when I'm doing videos, just bear with me. Okay, so see? I love it. And I've already done one of these because I love that pattern so much. And this one's a little bit easier to see here. It's exactly the same. And let me show you the page that I'm working on where I used, okay, so this one's coming up soon. We'll just skip over that real quick and I'll show you that later. I am going to do a flip through here when I'm done, but I want to finish the whole thing first. And you hear them, I can't wax them, I wax these pages to keep them from sticking. I can't do it yet because I'm not done. I think this is not the right book. This is the right book. Okay, so this is page, here it is. So this is my daughter, and I did, what did I do? Oh, I did a painting. I did a painting of her on a canvas, and this was what I used, a photo, and I turned it into black and white so I could transfer it to canvas, but this is that stencil. So now I'm going to show you how to create a stencil just using a hand drawing. So I'll be right back. Okay, I've actually been away for a few hours. I got to this point and my phone shut down because my storage was full. So that was kind of a nightmare, but let's continue. So I just took a Sharpie and a piece of paper from an old book, and I saw this one design that I believe it was Denise Love. I think she had this, maybe from PM Artist, I'm not sure. But it was kind of this pattern, which sort of reminds me of rain a little bit, I guess. Or maybe the tile on a roof. But I just liked it. So let's just start with this and see what happens, because I haven't done one like this before yet. I'm gonna take a new piece. Yeah, I can always fill it in. You can, that's what's really cool. You can go back, and if you don't do enough, if you want more, you can always go back and do more. Let's take it like this. I think I've got this heated up. Oh yeah. So what I'm gonna do is just, now this one, let's see, what am I gonna do here? You know what? I'm just thought of an issue that might happen. So I'm gonna take my ruler. Wish I had a smaller ruler here. And I'm gonna leave a little border around the paper. Let me take this off. I'm gonna leave a little border around the paper. Let's see where the stencil ends up. That looks pretty perfect to me. And the reason why I'm doing this is because if I don't, then I don't know where to stop. We'll just do this for you. I don't really know how to explain. Maybe I'll figure it out as we go. Because I don't have anywhere to stop with the wood burning tool. So I'm gonna, I think I'm gonna go bigger up here. One, to make it quicker, and two, because you can do several different sizes and designs in one stencil, especially if you're going to use it in journal pages and you don't need the whole stencil. I'll kind of show you what I mean in another video. Okay. Okay, we'll start with that. Let's see where this goes. You know, I want a little piece of tape here. And I'm just going to go on the inside. And not connect the shapes that I'm doing. Because if you connect them, the shape goes away. You can go pretty quick with these once you get rolling. And what's cool about this kind is that you don't really have to make it perfect, and the more little lines and mistakes that you make, the cooler it is. There are times where I go, like when I'm making the design, where I will try and make it as perfect as I can. But some of them are fun when you just kind of scribble and then just take out the negative space. Now this one has to go down in between, but again, not touching that line. This is a great project to do when you're not feeling very creative and you just want to do something monotonous. It can be very meditative. Well, I normally turn the air conditioner off when I'm recording something, and it's 152 degrees in Florida today. So I don't know if you can hear it, but I'm going to let it run because I'm also having hot flashes today. There was cracking up laughing the other day because there's a bunch of people on TikTok that make videos about hot flashes. And you can't possibly know how funny it is until you actually have one. My husband thinks I'm crazy because I think that 71 degrees at night is not cold enough. And I'm sleeping with no covers on. And he's bundled up like a baby under 5 blankets in Florida. He's got thermal underwear for when we go away. And when we go somewhere, we're staying in a hotel, I crank that air down to 65 and give him his long johns. Yeah. Some of you who know Bob know how funny he is. All you have to do is say Bob to our friends and they laugh. He's hilarious. But he's the kind of hilarious where he doesn't know that he's being hilarious. He's just funny. But thanks to him, we're back in the art room because we had to wait 30 days after the termite treatment. Because nobody told me that when you treat your house for termites, they fall out of your wall for weeks. So, okay, you'll never believe what just happened. First, my phone filled up again, and I spent all night last night cleaning it out and resetting my phone. I did find in Skylar's room my little stand, so that's a plus. And here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave everything the way it was because I find it helpful when I see my favorite YouTube channels, my favorite YouTube creators, when you go back and you see what a mess the first videos were. It makes me think, if they are where they are now, but their videos looked like my videos do now when they first started, it motivates me to keep going. And I want to see my progress as I go. And if I clean it up and make it look perfect, then I won't be able to see that. So when I figure out how to download everything onto my external drive, I mean, I know how to do it, but I just have to figure out a workflow. I have to take the time to take these videos off of my phone. Now, in the meantime, I'm using Bob's old phone. He was having problems with it, so he ended up getting a new phone. But when I cleared everything off, just using it as a camera works quite well. So I'm going to leave it on this phone and then upload it to CapCut to edit. Okay, so here's what happened. I made a huge mistake. Did anybody catch it? Comment if you notice what I did. But I'll tell you now. And you see that I finished filling this out, this whole square. That's because when I came back, I realized that I didn't put the paper under the glass. I put it on top of the glass and this over it, which it really didn't do anything. It was fine. I had to scrape off a few pieces of the plastic that were stuck to the paper, but yeah, I know better than that. But I guess I wasn't paying attention. I did this side larger. Again, I think I mentioned before that sometimes these squares are big enough because I'm using them mostly in my journal pages. And if I do it for a painting, it's very specific. I just put what I need in the painting, and usually I'm using the 12 by 12s for that. And I'll do a demonstration on that later when I'm working on a canvas. But because this is going to be used for my journal, I don't need a really big stencil. So sometimes using the same pattern in different sizes is great because it takes up less space. Not that these take up a lot of space, but anyway, you have more options on one stencil. So yeah, this has been this is my idea yesterday when I woke up. I was so excited that Bob got my art room sort of put back together. We have to wait another week or two before we can replace all the baseboards and paint my closet. And I'm kind of hoping, I don't know, I can't decide because we're looking for property. I want to move out of Fort Lauderdale. I love Fort Lauderdale, but it's gotten really crazy busy. And we spend a lot of time in more of the country in Florida. I love Florida. I'm not going to leave Florida. But I want to go to an area that is kind of slower and sleepier. It's such a difference. I'm from Alabama, so when you go to events, when you go to the grocery store, everybody's so nice. It's not like that here. And I'm not saying there aren't nice people. There are very nice people down here. And it happens where someone will see that you need help and run to help you. But a lot of people down here kind of keep to themselves and just kind of over it. My children are here, so I'll still be here a lot. But I'll be 55 on September 11th. It's time to slow down and get creative. I don't ever plan to retire from art. So anyway, back to the closet. Sometimes I get a little off track. I really want to build in a system in the closet, but I can't decide whether to do it or not, because if we're going to move, There's no reason to do that. This needs to be a bedroom for someone. So I'm torn. But I'll at least put the furniture back. I had shelves in there before. I'll at least put that back. I had just gotten everything completely organized when chaos hit. And when I tell you, we feel like the universe is attacking us right now. But you know what? Motivation to work harder. And make the good stuff happen anyway. It's just a test, right? All right, we're almost done here. Oop, uh-oh. Hopefully that didn't burn through. I don't think it did. You have to be careful not to go too fast because it will skip. And you don't want to cut anything or melt, create lines anywhere that might. I don't really need to do that, but let's do it anyway. You can't unmelt the plastic, but the cool thing about when you're done with this, if there's anything that you want to clean up, or if there's a hole that's not large enough and the paint won't go through, you can always come back with this and fix it. And of course you can use the X-Acto knife. Now you see what I did? I just turned my hand around on here. You also have to be careful because this stuff can get quite hot. It cools down very, very quickly, but you have to be very careful not to put your hand where you've just melted the plastic. It smarts. It stings a lot. Uh-oh. I can't wait to clean this up and try it out. That's the fun part, is to put paint to it to see what it's going to look like. I'll put the link, I think I already said it, I'll put the link in the description below. I have an Amazon affiliate account. However, you have to get 3 qualifying orders to remain an Amazon affiliate, and I don't know if I'm going to make it, so some of these links may not be active by the time you see this, but I'll try again and change the links around. But I think I'll wait a little while before I reapply until I have more people and more things to link. I had it originally on my blog, and I did really well for a while, and then got busy with work and stopped writing on my blog for a while. So here I'm just popping out whatever I can. There are going to be a lot of them that I'll have to go and either take it off with an X-Acto knife, or you can come back in and do it this way if you want. Sometimes I do this. I'll make a few of them and then sit down on the sofa at night and pop all these things out. And in that case, it's easier to have either an X-Acto knife or some little scissors. The little nail scissors are great for this. I don't really love doing it with the wood burning tool because, or the soldering iron, or I guess that's the piece we have on here now, because sometimes it, you know, you can go too far and break through to the next piece. So let me go and clean this up and I will be right back. Okay, I finished popping out all the little pieces, I think. And there are a few places that I'd like to go in and clean up a little bit, but I want to check it out and see if it's going to go through here and that you'll be able to see the design. So I just have a page here that I started. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. So I guess this is going to be the start of something. We'll see. But I just got a little blue because it's my favorite color. And I'm just in a makeup sponge. Let's see what, this is the funnest part. Love it. I'm going to do the whole thing so I can see where I need to clean it up or make the holes a little bigger, or maybe I don't have to. You can use, like I did, your hand-drawn designs. You can use coloring books. You can pretty much use anything that you see that has a design that you like. Flowers. It's a little tricky to create your own patterns in some cases, like flowers, because you always have to make sure each piece is connected, otherwise the whole thing will fall out and you'll just have a big open space in the middle of your stencil. Here it is. Let's see. This is so exciting. Oh, look at that. I like it. So fun. So fun. And then another way you can do it. I don't see that I really need to, maybe a few in here I can go and kind of fix a little bit. Let's see what happens when we just do some. A little bit darker than that. These sponges aren't the best for, they work best when you just do like that, but let's see. Oh yeah. See, yeah, these sponges, the art sponges are better. Actually, I've been watching a lot of Denise Love, and she likes the art sponges too. She cuts hers in quarters, and they seem to work really well that way. I don't like that these kind of push that paint up in there, and it's not a good clean line like when you stamp it. But these work great when you stamp them. So fun. I'm going to do a few more, and then I'll show you what I've done in my journals. Yeah, I'm going to make a few more. But I think I'm going to put those in another video, and I'll finish this page. I'm working on finishing these. You've seen this recently. While I didn't have access to my art room, I did some stuff on the coffee table. And I'll finish these so I can flip through the whole book and show you the ones you haven't seen yet. So that's it for today. That was super fun. I'll make some more so you can see what else you can do. I'd like to do one with flowers so that you can see how each petal needs to be completely enclosed so that you don't end up taking the whole area of the flower out. But I'll do that another time because that one takes a while to do. So thank you for watching. I'm so glad to be back. I have lots of fun stuff in my list of video ideas to create. And thank you to all my new followers, my new subscribers. It's been fun watching it grow even though I'm not here. So I'm really super excited to see what happens while I'm actually posting regular videos. So if you liked this video, please help me out by hitting the like button, subscribe, and if you want anything that I've used here that I can, I'll put the links in the description below. They're Amazon affiliate links, so if you like them and you want to pick some up for yourself and try this, you can find them there. Sorry, someone's knocking at my door. Okay, we'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye.